What's up, everybody? My name is John. Today I'm going to be talking about Sing, Unburied, Sing. It is a 2017 novel written by Jesmyn Ward. I really like this book. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but so far it's my favorite book that I've read this year. There's a lot of time left in the year, so we'll see what happens at the end. But Sing, Unburied, Sing is an awesome novel. I want to get into why I liked it, so let's go. This book is primarily character driven, so we can't really get into the plot without talking about the characters first. So the story revolves around a few different perspectives, which is really cool. One of the favorite perspective of mine, and probably yours too if you read this book, is of this boy named Jojo. Jojo's 12, 13 years old. He is half black and half white, and he has two parents. His mom is black, and his dad is white. His dad is in jail, and the, I guess, basic plot point to start off the book is that Jojo and his sister Kayla go with their mom, Leonie, to get their dad out of jail, essentially, or meet him when he is released from jail. So it focuses around this road trip for the first portion of the book, and it's all about the family dynamics. So Jojo is a really good kid. He does his best to take care of his sister. He has to grow up very fast, obviously, because his dad is in jail. He doesn't have a lot of he doesn't have that strong father figure. He does have his pop, though, which is his grandfather. Pop, in the very first scene of the book, teaches Jojo how to butcher an animal. So it gives you a little taste of what's to come in Jojo and Pop's relationship, and how Pop takes it upon himself to really teach Jojo how to be a man, because he's missing that father figure in his life. He's also missing a bit of the traditional mother figure, because Leonie, his mother, is not the greatest. She's actually a really shitty mom, and I'm not a big fan of her, and the people that I talked to about this book really didn't like her either. She is not the greatest. She's very self-centered. She really is into Michael, the person who is Jojo's father, but she doesn't take the steps to become a strong motherly figure for Jojo and Kayla. And we see that throughout the road trip, where Kayla is actually sick throughout a majority of it, and Leonie just doesn't really care, doesn't take the steps that needs to be done like a mother would to take care of her. So Jojo has to step in and take that role. And in turn, when things get a little sticky and hairy every once in a while, Kayla, the sister, always goes to Jojo instead of Leonie, and they don't call Leonie by mother or mom, they call her Leonie by her name. So there's a lot of family dynamics in play here, and it's really sad, but it makes you feel for Jojo and Kayla and get really connected to these characters as they go through this journey. Now, as the book progresses, you find out a lot more about how this family dynamic works. We have Michael, the guy who is in jail. They go to visit his parents. Obviously, they are both white. So when Leonie and Kayla and Jojo go to visit their parents, it's a very tense situation, a lot of tension, very awkward and stressful, and just downright racist and not okay. Some comments directed at Leonie and at the kids because of the color of their skin. So the themes of racism that are woven throughout this entire book really come to a head through this fight, both verbal and physical, at Michael's parents' place. So you get to see just a lot of things that African Americans go through in the South when it comes to certain viewpoints and certain cultures and certain groups of people who think certain things about people. And it's not just what happened in the past. A big theme that runs through this book is that the past is connected to the future and the present and vice versa. So beyond all the plot points, one of the most interesting things about this book is that it dips into paranormal elements. So even from the viewpoints of a few of the characters in the book, we get to see the viewpoints of a couple of the ghosts that are in this story. So there's a ghost that follows Jojo around, there's a ghost that follows Leonie around, who's actually a family member, and how all of that unravels and comes into play. It's a great story, but also very tragic, so I'll let you figure that out on your own. But I love these paranormal kind of otherworldly elements that are woven into this narrative. I thought it was an awesome addition to the book, and deals with a lot of themes of dying and closure, all around this racism and things going on within the South with the past and also the present. So taking a step back beyond the characters and the plot, which I absolutely loved, Jesmyn Ward's writing is absolutely phenomenal. I went through it feeling like I was reading poetry the entire time, and a few times I literally had to take a second to collect myself, not joking, and just went like, wow, to myself. The writing in here is so strong and beautiful and ridiculous. It's so good. So I can't say enough about Jesmyn Ward's writing style and the way that her prose kind of flows throughout the entire book. Even if I wasn't a big fan of the plot, I would still probably read it for her writing. I know that she has a few other books that we've already grabbed. Salvage the Bones is on my list next, but absolutely beautiful writing that you will really appreciate throughout the book, and I certainly did as well. So wrapping things up, it's an absolutely beautiful story. It's a tragic story. It's a very real, raw, and emotional story. You feel connected to these characters, and we all have things that we go through with our family and in society, and you could probably pick out a character that you can identify with really well, if not multiple characters. And the paranormal, weird, ghostly elements definitely add an additional fun and kind of disturbing layer to this story that was really enjoyable to read. So I think it's pretty clear Sing, Unburied, Sing is a book that I really enjoyed. I was a big fan of it, and I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for a good fictional story with some fun supernatural elements to it. And if you felt the same way, let me know. I would love to talk about this book a lot more. I'm still thinking about it 3 or 4 days after I've finished reading it. Clearly, I can't stop talking about it. So let me know if you felt the same way, if you've read it or not. Let me know. We'd love to talk about it some more. But I will see you soon, and thank you very much for watching.